Good evening, Demon Phil Comics in More New Jersey here. Another interview for you tonight. And we're going to have some fun with this one. We've had a lot of fun with the other ones as well. So why stop there? We're just going to keep this trend going. So as always, we're going to go ahead and wait just a minute or so to go ahead and get some more people in here and make sure that we're sharing this thing out so that we can go ahead and get as many people in here as possible. Got a great guest here tonight, actually a return guest. It's the first time I've had a return guest, which is really kind of cool. So we're going to go over a few things, find out some new things, and get a lot of information and see how things are turning in his world right now. So we're giving it just a couple more minutes here. Eve, thank you for joining us tonight. If you will share this thing out, let's make sure and get as many people as we can to know about this and see what we can do. And as you come in here, if you'll go ahead and let me know that you can see and hear me so that we'll know that's working okay, if you don't mind. Hope everyone is having a great evening and has had a great day. My day's actually been really pretty good. Been very productive at a lot of things today. So you'll start seeing a lot more going on with the show. And actually, I have some official sponsors that I need to thank as soon as we go ahead and officially launch this show. I want to give this another minute. Just go ahead and bring some more people in here if we can. And make sure that we're sharing this out as I am going ahead and trying to do as well. And remember, this is showing not only on the Facebook channel for Comics and More New Jersey, but it's also showing on the YouTube channel as well. All right. Thank you for that, Eve. Thank you for letting me know. All right. So we're a couple minutes in here. I'm going to go ahead and start this thing off officially then. Demon Phil, Comics in More New Jersey, you're here for yet another interview tonight. I want to go ahead and start this off officially since we now have official sponsors for the show. Yes, I am not stuttering on that one. Official sponsors. I am so excited about this. So obviously they believe enough in the show and what I'm doing and what I'm trying to accomplish by going and getting more people out there and more exposure to their needs and their products and their programs that they're doing. So they're jumping on board. This is absolutely wonderful. So let me go ahead and name them off here. First off, we have Totally Rad Comics as a sponsor for the show. Then we have Third Empire, which is a publishing company that is actually going to start putting out a lot of books starting, I believe, next month, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I do know for sure, but I'm trying to play coy with this one. Then we have Sub-Zero Mission. Sub-Zero Mission, if you recall, is actually a big one with me. That's actually the one where they actually go out and try to help the homeless, especially the veterans, by going and giving them the materials that they need to go ahead and survive through the winter months. That's actually a really big one for me. So we're going to be talking a lot about that in a lot of future shows as well. And then finally, I have Codex Entertainment joined us up. Codex Entertainment brings you such titles as Lily the Demoness, Whispers in the Necropolis. So it is by Luis Torres. And those are the four that I have right now. As far as sponsors, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for joining us. All right, we're ready to get this thing started. Now, with that being said, my guest tonight, he's been here before. He was here whenever they were getting ready to launch, and now we're going to go ahead and talk about where the Kickstarter is right now. He is the head dog of Big Dog Inc., and he's currently got a Kickstarter that is called Princesses vs. Zombies, and if you haven't heard about it yet, well, you're fixing to find out a whole lot about it. Here's Tom Hutchison.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, Tom, welcome to the show. Appreciate you being back, buddy.
Happy to be here.
Hey, we're going to go ahead and start off that for anybody that doesn't know who you are, and I don't know who that could possibly be, but if they don't, tell us who you are, where they can find you, and what you do.
Tom Hutchison. I am a publisher, writer, art director, all hats thing, I guess. All hats wearer for Big Dog Inc. We're celebrating 10 years publishing this year. A little bit of an inauspicious anniversary with all of the virus stuff happening, and not as many cons as we would have liked to have done and so on, but because of that, we get to do things like this. This is the new con, and it's been working well for us. I mean, we've been doing this for the past year anyway, over on the Comic Book Shopping Network and some other places. So the Big Dog is 10 years old. We are the final end right now of Princesses versus Zombies. We came on about 3 weeks ago when we just launched. We are now just about to finish. We finished Wednesday night in 2 days, basically 49 hours from now. And all is going well, not necessarily according to plan, but very well. And looks like we're going to break some Big Dog Inc. backer records, and we're having a good time.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned you went straight into the Princesses versus Zombies. So as far as the update is concerned on that, I actually have that up here. You're sitting at you're just under 27,000 is what you're about to hit on there. And actually, as we're speaking on here, we picked up another backer I just saw pop up on there, so that's a good thing. So whenever this first started, whenever we had the first interview and everything, you were very upbeat, surprised and everything at how fast this thing was moving.
Yeah.
And as Kickstarters do have at times, they'll kind of slow down a little bit on there. But this has surpassed what you thought it was going to do in the first place whenever you had first put it out there, simply because of current situations that are going on outside and everything.
Oh, sure.
So it's definitely
there was no way to determine what was going to happen, considering this launched sort of, I don't know, 2 weeks or so after everything kind of got shut down across the country. So there was really no way to know what the hell was going to go on. But we kind of had a hope that we could land the thing somewhere around 25,000, which we're already, almost a couple thousand over that, with a couple days to go. So, it's definitely a success, especially kind of taking what some considered to be a risk. I didn't really think it was going to be that much of a risk, but some were telling me, don't do it. And I knew a lot of people that were planning Kickstarters were dropping out. But in the end, it ended up being a swarm of Kickstarters. After we launched, Dan Mendoza came on. I can't think of the dude's name, but the guy that does Dreadstar put out a Kickstarter campaign. Todd McFarlane had a Kickstarter campaign. There's a couple other dudes. I can't even think about all the other guys that just suddenly were like pop, 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 pop. They were all in there. Brian Polito's got one starting in about 10 days. So and from my experience, from my, I'm not saying that I led the pack here, because I think everybody that's doing it was planning to do it anyway. But from my launch and my success, I think that pretty much showed that the Kickstarter community is still raring to go, and maybe more so because they're just kind of sitting at home with nothing to do anyway. And they're watching Kickstarters and they're watching things being created, regardless of cons and regardless of retail stores. Comics are still happening. You see all of these things in the news. Oh, comics are shut down, blah, blah. Comics aren't shut down. Marvel and DC might be shut down. Dark Horse and Image might be shut down. Retail stores might be shut down. Comics are not shut down. They keep on going, whether it's stores selling back issues, whether it's creators like myself, Dan Mendoza, CB Zane, doing Kickstarters and pushing these products out. Comics are not shut down. And it's the ones that choose to shut down that are shut down.
And what I would like to focus on is how you got to the success level that you did on the Kickstarter. And doing that, we're going to backtrack to the very beginning. Well, actually, you do have a way of doing it, because you've termed you've actually kind of coined the phrase on there of burlesque marketing.
Right. Sure. Yeah. Yes, there is that. Yeah.
Which does work. And if you'll kind of explain for those that on here that don't know exactly what that is, can you kind of explain how that works and how you got the buildup that you did for ready to hit that button?
It's just the idea of, it's nothing new. I just use it and I'm aggressive with it. It's the tease. It's the, I'm going to show you this much. And if you want to see more, you got to come see the thing, when we do the thing. And that's what I do. So, with us, we've got 11 covers that we started with in this campaign, all different artists, all different styles. And so I would create an image that is branded to, Big Dog Inc. It's branded to Princess versus Zombies. But the image is only, so much of the overall thing. And so that's how I do my marketing. I don't come out and just be like, ha, here it is. It's always like, ah, there it is. And come see more, when we're launched and we're doing the thing. And so people have always, teased me over the year, teased me, no pun intended. They're like, dude, you're like the king of the tease. And I'm like, I know, dude, I am burlesque marketing. This is the way I do it. It's the way I have basically always done it. And, it gets people's reactions. People are always like, well, what the hell is it? What's the rest of this thing look like? And then they come see it, and so far so good. I mean, I am not the be all end all of marketing, but I've found my way of doing it. And that's really the way that everyone should figure it out. There's a way for you to do it. It's not necessarily the way that I do it. It's not necessarily the way that Polito does it. It's not necessarily the way that Marvel does it. Find your way of doing it. Find the way that makes sense to you and generates buzz to the people that are watching what you're doing, and then run with it. That's it.
Absolutely. And so that's the way that you go ahead and lead them into the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter starts up, and of course, BDI has got some amazing artwork inside of the book as well. I mean, a lot of people aren't aware, but you can actually open it up, and there's pages inside there, and it's kind of a cool thing.
We do write a story. Yep.
But it has all of this that draws you in, and you still continue the push and everything on there. And then all of a sudden you go, oh, by the way, did I mention now we have this particular cover that's available only for this weekend or something like that? Can you kind of talk about that a little bit? Because that's a huge push in marketing whenever you're doing that with a Kickstarter.
Well, yeah, and that's not even for me. I mean, that's a Kickstarter staple in most cases, is doing the add-ons. What the idea there is that, Kickstarter, traditionally you'll get about a strong 4 or 5 day opening, and then once you've kind of run through your existing fan base and whatever folks just kind of stumble across you kind of fall into this lull of, okay, what do we do now? How do we maintain the momentum of doing this? How do we keep the people that are already backed watching? How do we, engage them, so on and so on. So we do basically an add-on book, or sometimes it's trading cards or whatever, throughout the campaign. So we keep the folks that have already pledged engaged, but it also gives us more marketing, because it now is, instead of just regurgitating, hey, we have this cover, hey, we have this cover, hey, we have this cover, and people seeing the same thing, now we can say, oh, now we have this other thing, and the people that already have pledged can get it, and the people that haven't pledged are now being shown something that's like, oh, well, that's cool, what is this thing? And then they, theoretically, they come to the campaign and they see all the other stuff that's going on, and hopefully they jump in and pledge. So for us, no different. The only thing that we did different this time was we made a very special book, because we ran over the NFL draft a few weeks ago. We did a special Steph Wilson NFL draft edition Cindy cover that we had just available for 4 days, just during the NFL draft, from Thursday night to, really, the draft ended Saturday, but we ran it through Sunday. So it was Thursday through Sunday. If you wanted it, you had to add it on right there. And it did really well. I don't have the final numbers. I have to go through all the messages and everything, but and a rough estimate would be another 40 odd, maybe up to 50 extra covers that people were buying. And again, it attracted attention. It attracted Steph's fans. It attracted football fans. It attracted all these different groups of people to come in and say, well, what is this Princesses versus Zombies? Tell me what it is. And again, it's just you get that marketing push, and you move on to your next week, where you do it again and you do it again until you're all done.
Exactly. And going back to Steph's cover and the other things that you've done with that as well, once this Kickstarter ends, and if you didn't get a chance to get that, you don't get those covers, correct?
Correct. There are, for us, and it depends, different Kickstarters do it a different way. For us, we have a set number of books. So sometimes it's 100, sometimes it's 200, sometimes it's 300, and we're going to make that many. What we do generally with our Kickstarters, though, to differentiate the book, is that the Kickstarter backers for us will get a version of the book that has something special to it. In our case, it has a special back cover that only goes out to the backers. So if we were to make, let's say we make 200 copies of a book, with the front cover, there might be 75 to 100 that have that back cover. And then the rest we just make as we would make normal product, and they go out into the general market. But there are cases where there are exclusive books to the campaign, which are basically however many orders we get, that's how many we make. And we have a couple of those. Like the football cover was it. We were like, okay, it's available for 4 days. Whoever adds it on within that 4-day window, that's how many we're making, period. If it's 8, if it's 9, if it's 22, that's how many we're making. So right now we have 2 that are available. There is the gatefold Walking Dead homage. So it's a wraparound cover. So like it'll be like this. Like here's your front cover, here's your back cover, but then you'll open it and then it'll open up one more time. So you'll actually have 3 images, like that. Like the old Jim Lee thing they did back in the day with the X-Men and so on.
Yep.
So this is our first ever gatefold cover. It is a Walking Dead homage. So it's the what's his name? Grimes. I don't know the Walking Dead. Whatever that guy's name is. So he's the middle cover. But then what we did is we expanded the scene, to get what's happening on the left and the right. And so we have that. That is a campaign exclusive. So when the campaign's over, that's it. Which means if you miss it, there will not be extras. I mean, sometimes there's a handful of extras because we overprint in case there's damages or losses in the mail. We don't want people to not get their book. But generally, if we're going to print like 40 of these things, we might throw an extra 10 on the pile just to be sure. And generally, those books on the back end, on the resale market, those things go skyrocketing because how do you get them? I mean, they're in people's collections. They're not coming out. And when they do, it's like, oh my God, where'd that come from? I've never even seen it. And suddenly it's, $100 book on eBay. So we have that one. And then we have a book that is a holofoil. So there's 2 versions. It's Mel Milton's cover. It's his first Big Dog Ink cover with us. It is called Here's Mommy. It's Mrs. White with her axe. It's a really cool sort of animated cover. And then he did a bloody version of it. So she's got blood on the axe and kind of on her costume and stuff. And we made that a holofoil. So those holofoils will be limited to however many we get orders for. And then that's it. So if there's 20 orders, 40 orders, that's it. And when the campaign's over, if you missed it,
yeah, and you've already sold out of some of the tiers as well.
Yes, we have sold out of 2 tiers. Technically we've sold out of 2, 3. We've sold out of 5 tiers. One was the Carl Liversidge Mirror. It sold out day 1. 2 is the Mike DeBalfo Kung Fu Fighting Bella Rose. That's gone. Both of the metal versions of those are gone. And the metal version from Marta Nael's Woodland Stroll is gone also. Her regular edition book only has 11 left. So that's about to sell out too. And we did have a sellout on we do an all or nothing pack, which in this case is called Princesses on Parade. And it's all of the basic starting books, not the add-ons, just the basic starting books. We had actually sold out of them all 40. But we had a couple of dropouts. So there's 2 left. There are 2 packs left. So if you want that mirror, if you want that Mike DeBalfo, if you want to make sure you get that Marta, all the other books are getting close too. If you want them, dive in, get it, because there's 2 left and you'll get everything, all the stretch goals, you'll get all the basic books, and you'll save yourself a ton of money from having to go hunt these things down when the campaign's over.
Absolutely. And that's the point that I wanted to make, is we keep going over the fact that, the fact that they're available is one thing, but hunting them down is hard to do because collectors do not get rid of these things. I don't.
Right.
I know you can't pry these from Smithers' cold dead hands. Everybody knows that. I mean, we all know if you're in the doghouse, and if you're not, you need to be, but you need to come to the doghouse and see. It's fun, and we're very easygoing. It does get competitive at times, but it's a fun competitive. It's not, we're not trying to kill each other for things.
Yeah.
But
Well, and the Doghouse, for those that don't know, the Doghouse is the live show that I do every Wednesday night. Facebook group here called the Comic Book Shopping Network, CBSN. I do a live show every Wednesday night called the Doghouse. But the Comic Book Shopping Network itself is basically 12 hours a day, every single day, of retailers and people selling comics to you all day long. And then I jump on with Big Dog Ink stuff every Wednesday night. So we're going to actually have the Doghouse this Wednesday. The Princess versus Zombies will end. The campaign will end right before our live show ends. So we'll kind of, synergize it all together.
Absolutely. And like I was saying, you've got to get these things whenever they're available now. Jump on them. You need to get on this project. If you know anybody else who's interested, if you know anybody else who might be interested, if you think they might be interested, share this thing out, get the information out there, and get them on there, because once they're gone, I'm not going to say you can't get them. It's just going to cost you a lot more, and it's going to be a lot more headache to try to find them.
Yeah. We had, when we did Princesses versus Zombies, the 0 issue last year, we did 5 covers, and then we had 5 foil versions of those covers. The foil versions were all campaign exclusives. And I can't tell you how many messages I get every day. Dude, where's those foils? I'm like, dude, where were you in October? I mean, we did this. It's the way that we do it. And the reality is that there's a lot of campaigns. The way that we do our campaigns is changing. And I'm going to tell you all that right now. The books are going to become more limited, like we did with this. Everything is limited to 150 copies in this campaign, but we made the price point very, very accessible at $20. Shipping's included in there. There's no extra shipping. It's just $20. They're limited to 150 copies. You're talking about books selling out on the campaign, which means when we come out the back end, there's not going to be that many left. And if you are a collector, we never want to be like tough. You missed it. Sorry, guys. But that's just kind of the reality at this point, because when you're talking about what is essentially boutique marketing now, or boutique publishing, everything is condensing to be more efficient and streamlined. And in doing so, the price points are going to start to modify. We might be able to make it very accessible to get in during the campaigns, but that means that the books, when on the other side, are gone. And if you miss them, you're going to have to drag them out of somebody's collection, or hope that we just have an extra 10 or 20 laying around, which can happen. Absolutely. But again, you're then talking about, we've got 20 left over. 10 of them are going to go to the artist for comps, which means now we have 10, the artist has 10. The stock dwindles in a hurry when you're talking about 20, 30 extra copies. It sounds like a lot, but it's not.
And like I said, do yourselves a favor, jump on this project before it ends, get everything that you want to go ahead and get as much of it as you can. You can over pledge for multiple copies if you wanted to. It's totally up to you. If you wanted a reader and then something to slab, or you wanted to have other ones that you want to have off to the side that you want to sell on your own, whatever you want to do, grab them.
Yeah, that's it. Absolutely. And if you got questions, just shoot me a message. I can talk you through it. If you're not familiar with Kickstarter, we'll talk you through it. It is easy. It is not necessarily super transparent. Adding things on, there's no shopping cart button, which is just dumb. Kickstarter needs to fix that, but we'll talk you through it. And once you see it, it makes a lot more sense than us saying, go, 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 go. You'll see it and you'll visualize it and it'll make sense.
And if you have questions, shoot Tom a message. He will be glad to ask answer any questions about that.
I live on Facebook, so I get messages from people all the time. My computer's right here. I'm working, I'm shipping, I'm writing. Facebook is on. Just send me a message and we'll figure out whatever you need.
Absolutely. Now I'm going to kind of shift gears just a little bit on this, because we've been talking about the Kickstarter, and we'll come back to it. But you've got a few other projects that are coming up that are going to be going on, and the next one that's coming up is going to be on the 22nd, which is World Goth Day. Now I know you have some plans on there, and being that I'm in the Patreon thing and I can actually see behind the curtain, and I love that, by the way. If you're not a Patreon, you need to be one. Get on that. You can actually see behind the curtain as things are being done. I mean, we're talking about pencils that you get to see back there before they're even colored and, shown to everybody else. Amazing things that are there. But I've seen a lot of things that are going to be happening with the World Goth Day, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. I know you've got other plans that are kind of going along with that you can't tell us. What can you tell us that we'll be able to see on World Goth Day?
Well, World Goth Day is going to actually be World Goth Weekend, but we are going to focus on May 22nd as the day where you can get the extra stuff. So, for example, anybody who buys the books, any of the books, there'll be 5 of them. Anybody who buys any of the books on World Goth Day itself, May 22nd, and I'll be up at freaking midnight on the 21st. So it'll be 12 to 12. So you have the whole day. Anybody that buys the books will be getting a special foil COA, Certificate of Awesome, which we did for Princess versus Zombies as well. It is not a certificate of authenticity. It's a certificate of awesome. It is only available on the 22nd. That is it. Any orders that come in after those books, you'll still get the books, just not the extra Goth Day bonus stuff. And there will be some Goth Day bonus stuff. So be aware, be very aware, because if you want the bonuses, again, it's one day. And we're gonna as soon as the Kickstarter is done and that's kind of out of everybody's hair and we can take a breath, we're gonna go right into all the marketing and promotion and all the details for World Goth Day.
Absolutely. I'm definitely looking forward to that. And I actually missed one event that you have going that happens 2 days before World Goth Day, and that is the Doghouse's 50th episode on the 20th.
Yep.
And you had mentioned there were some things that you definitely want to be there for, to participate in and have some fun with on that. If you want to go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah, just like we did last year on our 25th episode, this will be our 50th episode. And it is a customer appreciation night, which means I will sign all your books if you want them. I know that sounds kind of arrogant that I don't sign books throughout the week, but listen, I sell a crap ton of books. And if I'm signing everybody's books every week, I'm not getting anything done. So I will sign your books on customer appreciation night if you want. Some people don't want them signed. That's fine. There will be a free variant cover. It will be Princesses versus Zombies variant cover. Done by Asher B. The art's already done. We'll be showing that to you guys soon as well. It will be free to anybody who buys anything during the show. It is as simple as that. Buy a book, get a free book. The last time we did this, we ended up with 40 of them. And again, good luck finding one. Those things are in people's collections. They're not coming out. And if they do, you're going to be looking at something like $100 a shot because no one knows what the hell it is. And there's only 40 of them. So you will be able to buy an extra if you want. Well, that was the other option, is you'll get a free one if you buy something. But if you want to buy an extra, you'll be able to buy an extra one as well. And we'll do some other stuff too. We'll throw in some extra trading cards and stickers. And like I said, it's customer appreciation night. So it will be all about you guys and we'll have a good time. And
honestly, if you're not in the Doghouse, if you're not on Comic Book Shopping Network and playing your part in dealing with not only the Doghouse, but I mean, there's so many other things in there, but we're talking about the Doghouse right now because I cannot express the amount of fun that we have in there. And Tom there's no pressure to buy. In fact, there is pressure to share. That's about the only pressure that's ever in there.
Yes.
So as long as we're sharing, once we get to a certain number on there and he is sufficed, then the show will go ahead and go forward. And I like that it's that way. And the first time that I actually came in there myself, I don't remember who it was, told me, said, hey, you need to share this. And I'm thinking, wow, what kind of group is this? Y'all are kind of picky about what you do with this. But Tom was literally waiting until it got to a certain number before we could share. So everybody was like, dude, come on, share, do something here. So I shared and we were able to move forward. So now I'm the guy that sits over there with the new people that come in going, hey, share, do something.
Yeah, we wait till we have double-digit shares. And then we move on. Usually we end up with anywhere between 15 to 25 shares from the group each week, which is great. And that helps it go viral. I mean, it helps people figure out what the Comic Book Shopping Network is. It helps people figure out what Big Dog Inc. is, all that kind of stuff. So, it's like social media is the most dumb thing in the world because it's so easy. It's like, like, but we don't do it anymore. All we do is scroll. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Ah ha ha ha. Scroll, 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 scroll. Like we don't do anything anymore. There's no interaction with social media like whatsoever anymore. Unless it's just something that just like blows your mind. So you kind of have to remind people, dude, you got to like this. You got to do these things and help whatever it is that you like move around the internet. And if you don't do that, then things that you do like will just kind of hit a wall, and it might not reach the levels that you want it to reach.
Absolutely. But if you want to have some fun, if you want to see some amazing books, and just have a blast with a bunch of people who are like-minded and like to have a little more fun than we should at times, but you know, Tom's very patient with us and I don't know how it is, but he is. I'm not. I'm incredibly shy. It's Steph. Steph Wilson is pretty much the troublemaker in the group.
Yeah, it's just a group. It's just a group of Big Dog Inc. fans. I mean, if you don't know what Big Dog is, come in, watch, see what we're talking about. Get the little 411. You know, there's no obligation to buy anything. Just hang out, chat, ask questions. I mean, we get new people all the time. We had 4 new people buying stuff in each of the last 2 weeks. So there's always new people finding Big Dog stuff. There's always new people buying these books. And, you know, we try and keep the prices reasonable, you know, because we know what the resale market is on these things. We know what the secondary market is. And we try and maintain it so that you guys don't have to go pay crazy eBay prices. But every now and then we do have the old stuff that just comes out. And it's like, dude, we have one of these things from 9 years ago. Go, you know, whoever calls it first gets it, and it might be pricey, but you know, we do have some of the rare things that pop up from the warehouse. We open boxes like this used to be at a show from 9 years ago. Holy crap! There's, you know, a Shannon Mayer in here. You know, who knows? Who knows? That was what we did last week. We did what's in the box. It was like 4 different boxes that I found, and I'm just opening boxes and pulling out whatever's there, and that's what we did. And we had one of our top 5 shows ever last week.
Absolutely. Now, I've got to ask, it's on my mind and it's on a lot of other people's minds. What is the next Kickstarter you're going to be running?
I'm not going to announce it just yet. It will be, there's a couple of things that I have to put in place. We are modifying the structure this year. Originally it was going to be Oz in July, but we're going to do a little bit of a modification, and do some stuff for our 10-year anniversary instead. So Oz is going to be pushed. We will be launching that in January 2021. Carlos Reno, Gat Melvin, they are already back on the book. So the one that we just did, you guys will get that, and that quality will carry forward as we do the series next year. So we will be making the official announcement in the next week or so. Again, I want to get the Kickstarter done. I need to get all of the goth stuff kind of in place, and then we can start to tease what we're doing in June, July, for the 10-year anniversary.
Absolutely. And definitely looking forward to that. And that leads into my next question is QuickCon. QuickCon, you have mentioned, we've kind of discussed a little bit every once in a while.
Yeah, I don't have anything that's going on, man. I'm not doing anything at all this year. It's like, I mean, I have nothing to do.
I know, you look so bored on Facebook all the time. Well, I mean, especially whenever you do the filters, that's about the only time.
Listen, I'm just keeping you all aware of what the hell's going on in social media. I mean, I don't know what you want me to do.
So as far as QuickCon, what can you tell us about that you can give out right now?
The only thing I can tell you about QuickCon really is it's me, it's myself, it's Wendy Shaner, who is in the room with us. It is CB Zane. It is 3 new characters, or if not new characters per se, they are spin-offs from existing things. What is going on with my nose, man? It's like there's a draft in here, but there's no windows anywhere. So it's Naughty Fairies. It's a spinoff from that. It's Scorpiana. It's a spinoff from that. And then it's Critter. It's a spinoff from that. So for me, my part of it is a character called Catnip, who is actually going to debut during World Goth Day. So her first appearance will be on a cover for Critter during World Goth Day. And so that will be your first appearance. So again, we talk about keys, you know, Marvel, DC keys, all that kind of stuff. Indies have keys too, man. I mean, go find the first appearance of these characters, because listen, if all of a sudden there's a Penny for Your Soul HBO show, you know, how are you going to go find one of these Penny for Your Soul books? You're not, because they're going to be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars to find them. Get on the keys, get on the first appearances, do all of that stuff, because Catnip will, like I said, she'll appear on the cover, and then she will get her actual full story during ClickCon with Wendy and CB as they do their books. And that will be, at least as far as I know, everything is working so far, that will be September is when we'll do ClickCon.
Yeah, and that sounds great. I mean, I'm excited about seeing how that's going to turn out, because I'm going to give a shout out to Wendy Steen Shanner, because I know she's in here. And whenever she did her online con in January, that was, I mean, it was a masterpiece. I don't even know what other word to use except for masterpiece. It was done so well and so much fun that I can honestly say that's probably one of my most favorite cons I've ever been to. And I didn't step foot into it. You know, it was virtual feet.
Yeah, and ClickCon is going to be similar to that. We're taking some of what Wendy did because it was so smart. We're going to be taking a lot of her methodology for that, transplanting it to ClickCon. But in this case, instead of it just being Wendy's book, it's going to be 3 creators all working together to really kind of create a convention, you know, across different titles and different characters.
I am definitely looking forward to that. Now, you mentioned CB Zane. I just want to say, because I was over on his show just before we got on here, he wanted the first person who got in contact with you to ask if he could work on the next Scheherazade.
I don't even know when the next Scheherazade is, to be honest with you. It's you know, we're going to be changing the way we do Kickstarters next year to make things move a little bit faster. Again, I don't want to go into it really yet, because we haven't, it's not in stone yet, but everything that I want to do Kickstarter wise, I want to be moving faster, more efficiently. I want to hit deadlines like we did this year. We fell just a little bit behind, but a lot of that was because of the Corona thing, slowed down our printer and so on. But Scheherazade, really, we wanted to ship it in April, and we did start shipping in April. So, you know, while Penny fell way behind for a number of reasons, when I came in with Scheherazade, I was like, look, I want this on time. And so we really only missed it by a couple of weeks. And even then, we would be done with all of this freaking shipping if I had had my help, because I had people that were going to come help me just knock this thing out in like 5 days. But the Corona thing just locked everybody down in their state. So I'm like, well, goddamn, now I have to do 500 packages by myself. That's going to take a little longer, but we're in a nice window where I can say we made it on time. Our artists were on time. You know, all of that worked. And so as we come into now Princesses versus Zombies, we want to ship that in July. That's our goal, is to ship in July. Everything should be, as long as the Corona doesn't muck things up again, we should be able to land July as well. So on time is the goal right now. And if I can be on time throughout the year with what we have, then we can start to modify the system and change it and make it work even better in 2021.
Absolutely. I agree with that. And I've seen you post a lot about the shipping and everything that's going on with there and all. So I definitely, I know that you're not lying about what you've gotten in, because the tower of books, because you got Penny 7 and Scheherazade all at the same time.
I got all this to ship. I got all of that back there. It's just, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I will probably be, I don't know, 90% done, maybe a little more than that, by the end of this week. I mean, there's some stragglers. Like the metal stuff always takes a little longer, because they have to actually custom make those to the books. So they can't do them until they actually have the books in their hands, and then they have to make the metal, and that just takes a little bit longer. But as far as everything besides the metal stuff, we should be basically 95% done with the entire shipping, or I should be, by the weekend. So I've got a huge pile of books downstairs that are going out tomorrow. There's like 150 packages down there. So we just kind of keep going, and we should be done by about the weekend. And then we'll just wait on the metal books, and those will go out as fast as we can get them out.
Absolutely. And again, I cannot stress, because we're bringing up about Penny 7. By the time I got on the BDI bandwagon, I missed Penny 7. I got on for Scheherazade. So he's been posting some amazing books that were available on Penny 7. And I'm just cringing over here because oh yeah, that's killing me, because I didn't get it. Now I know that they could possibly come available later on. Again, like we said, there's going to be, and you're killing me, Tom. They're going to be a little more expensive. They're going to be much harder to find. Golly, you've got them all. But yeah, I mean, you've got to have it if you're part of the wanting to collect all of that different stuff. So I will do what I can as it comes available. And I got my Scheherazade in today. So Butt Tattoo from Steph Wilson is actually in my hands. That sounds very odd, actually. I'm not gonna repeat that one.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of people getting their books. Somebody actually got the Mog Park original art card. If you had bought, let me get her cover. So this is Mog Park's first Big Dog Ink cover. If you bought this cover, you get a free reprint of the original art that she did. But one person gets the actual original sketch card that she drew. So there's this one. And then she also drew an Anubis. This is not Mog's cover, but she drew an Anubis sketch cover, or a sketch card. And so there's a card for this. Everybody gets the card free, but then one person gets the original art, and that actually ended up showing up today. Mark Elliott actually got that card, and so he posted it and showed that he got the original art. So we do fancy little bonus things like that too. So just be aware that it's not just you're buying the book. We do extra little fun stuff on the side as well.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I completely agree on that. There was, you were down in Texas at, I can't remember the name of the shop, but you were doing some of the cards there. And I actually got a Princesses versus Zombies 0, and you slapped one of those cards in there, which was great.
Oh yeah. That was a little mini print. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting it. Whenever I got the book, I actually flipped it around, and I was like, well, let me look at the back, because I have to check everything. I mean, I want to make sure what all's in there, what all it comes with, or everything. And I flipped it over, and I was like, well, I know I didn't order that.
Yeah. We like to do little bonus things, and you guys support us, and the more that you support us, the more we're able to do. Both as far as new artists and bigger name artists and so on, and then all the little extras too.
Absolutely. Now we've been doing a lot of talking about BDI, what you've got coming available, what's going on, what you've got going right now as far as Kickstarter. So again, I want to reiterate, if you do not jump on this Kickstarter and you do not get your stuff, then you're sitting over here like I am right now, dying on the inside because I'm seeing all this Penny 7 stuff going across that I may or may not be able to get. So do not die on the inside. Jump on this and get in here. Get whatever you need. If you just want to get one cover on there, do so. If you want to get a couple of covers, if you want to go ahead and get the Princesses on Parade, I think there's still 2 of those available. It's a huge value to go ahead and get that. I mean, it's every cover that's available on there, the regular covers that are available on there, and it's $200. It is an amazing
and it's
value.
At a discount because there's 11 covers and it's $200. So you're basically buying 10 and getting one free.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so I mean, it's absolutely worth it. So you definitely need to do that. And I just want to go ahead. I'm going to turn it over to Tom real quick, because basically what I would like you to do is you're going to go ahead and give us a hard sales pitch for everyone who is watching this, for everyone who will be watching this. Why should they go ahead and back Penny for Your Soul? Penny for Your Soul. Why should they? See, I got it stuck in my brain now. I missed it. Why should they back Princesses versus Zombies?
Because you're supporting creativity. I mean, ultimately, Kickstarter is about supporting creativity. Now, it used to be the thought process of Kickstarter, Indiegogo, all these things was, hey, these guys don't have the means to make their comic, and we want to support. Ultimately, you're still supporting creativity. You're just helping people that didn't have the means to actually make their book. But it's become more than just crowdfunding. It's a marketing and distribution tool for anybody who has a quality product ultimately, but you get to determine what is the quality product. and even to some degree, you get to do that in retail stores, because if Marvel puts out a book and you don't buy it, guess what? They're going to cancel it. So buying is always in your hands as to what is going to exist. So you guys get to determine the fate of independent comics, of creator-owned comics, and you get to look at everything that's being done. You get to wander. It's almost like you're at a Comic-Con. You're wandering through all these tables. It's like, hey, this guy does this book and this guy does this book. And you decide what it is that you like, what you're looking for, what your favorite thing is. With Big Dog Inc. in general, we do superheroes, westerns, horror, fantasy, kaiju, Jungle Books. I mean, we do everything. So right now, if you're a horror fan, or if you're sort of a parody fan, that is what Princesses versus Zombies is. It is a group of women on Halloween night running through the cliche sexy princess costume thing. It is very meta for those that like the sort of things that reference other things. It's very meta. It's got very much a sort of Buffy the Vampire Slayer vibe to it. It's got, like I said, it's very meta. It's got amazing art by Chow Mahato. Chris Chua are doing amazing work on the art. It's zombies, so it's dumb. I'm just saying it. All zombie things are dumb. That's it. All zombie things are dumb. So it's dumb, but it's dumb in a fun way, I think. And that's where a lot of the other little things that mix it together come from. All of the characters are 180 degrees different from all of the other characters. And that's really what a zombie story is. It has nothing to do with the zombies. You can take the zombies out and replace them with lions or crocodiles or dinosaurs. You get almost the same essential thing: people running away from the zombies. So it's all about character. And in our case, the characters are a teenage Buffy style Cinderella. We have a MILF Snow White. We have a blind Belle. And we have a we're not getting deep into the details, but we have a Pocahontas, whose little twist will come when you read the book. And that just makes everything fun. That just takes this world of zombies running around and eating people. It changes it into sort of a comedy, parody, sexy thing. Very much, if this was the 80s, it would be a straight to video nonsense movie. But we all know and love those things. And so that's the gist of what the whole thing is. And when people read the Zero issue, there was an immediate clamoring like, well, dude, when's the rest of it coming? And that's why it came out this year. I wasn't even planning to put the book out this year. I changed my Kickstarter schedule already to put this on the docket because it was so popular back in October. And I was like, okay, let's run with this and get it out. And hopefully people will enjoy what I've done with the story, and hopefully people will get a kick out of the twist.
Absolutely. I could not agree more on that. I want to go ahead and do something here real quick since we've got a little bit of an audience here, and I've actually got a book that I want to go ahead and do as a giveaway. What we're going to do, if you have watched any of my stuff prior to, you know that I do a thing that's called Demon Says. It's like Simon Says, but I tell you what to do. You go do it, and then the first person who goes ahead and does said thing, then you go ahead and win a prize. So with your permission, Tom, if you don't mind me doing this, what we're going to do is the book that I'm going to give away is one that was given to me to go ahead and give out, which is called Vicious Circus by Inverse Press. They went ahead and they did this is the one where they did that online for me with the remark inside of it and everything, which is really cool. I'm going to give this book away. Here's the way we're going to play this. And yeah, I've already got people over in the audience ready because they know how to do this. So this is Demon Says. Now, I don't do anything where I ask the questions and everything like that because, number one, I just don't know what trivia you may or may not know. And being in the doghouse, I've learned that there's a lot of trivia that I don't know. So it's very simple, but it's very competitive. And I know there's a lot of people that have already got their fingers on the button ready to do this. So here we go. What I need you to do is you're going to go to a certain place. You're going to share an event or something on there. As soon as you share it, you must tag me Once I see my name tagged on there, first person who tags me on there wins the prize. It's very simple. So here we go. Demon says, go to Princesses versus Zombies Kickstarter. Share that thing out right now. Tag me. Waiting to see who's going to bring this up.
Share it, tag Phil, win a thing.
Yep. You need to go to the Kickstarter, share it to Facebook, tag me, you win a book.
Was it the first person that does it?
First person who does it. And I kind of knew it. All right. Evanette Rivas Fournier, you have won Vicious Circle by Inverse Press with the remark in it and everything. So you actually got that one. Great job, Eve, and thank you for doing that. And we've got a few others that have done this as well, so thank you for sharing as well. As far as I'm concerned, everyone that's in here, please go share this now to go ahead and let everybody know what's going on with this. Just go ahead and get it flooded out there so everybody has a chance to go ahead and get on this before it is gone. Tom, you've got until 11:45 EST on Wednesday. So we're looking at roughly 2 days is what we're looking at on this exactly.
Yeah, it's according to Kickstarter right now, it is 48 hours.
Yeah, so 48 hours before you're going to have that really sad face that I had while he was showing those books from Penny for Your Soul 7. You don't want the sad face. It's not a pretty thing. So definitely jump on this thing, get what you need from it, share it out, make sure everyone else gets it. He's going to make me cry here in a moment. I swear, he's going to make me do it. Oh, God, I love that cover. See, don't be like the demon. Don't do it. Wow. You see what he's offering here. You see the kind of artwork. You see the kind of everything he's got in here. And if we could even get into the interiors on here, it would spend the entire time doing it because it's even better in the inside than it is in the outside. And if you want to go ahead and give a shout out to your artistic teams that you work with on this.
Yeah, this is JB Netto, who has been, let me see if I can get a good look at this. There's a lot of glare happening. JB Netto, who's been with me since the beginning. But we do have a new colorist. Trying to avoid that glare. We do have a new colorist on this book, which is Whitney Cook. And they both absolutely crushed this book. JB has been with me. He's done every issue of Penny for Your Soul except for 2. And those 2 were actually spin-off side issues. So he was still doing the main book, but we had some side issue stuff that was done. JB is we're already talking about, well, here, I'll show you this too. We're already talking about, I can show this since the books are out there and I published this earlier. Here's a little advertisement. It's probably backwards. Oh, no, it's not. Mary Magdalene, 7 Demons. This is a little promo piece for the next Penny for Your Soul volume, which we will be popping out next year. This story is far from over, folks. So JB is already on board. As soon as I have scripts, he will start. And we don't have a schedule yet, but it will probably be starting sometime next summer, about a year from now. Takes a while to plan these things out, but we know generally what it's going to be. And so I just have to kind of knock my dominoes over. I have to get, Princess versus Zombies done. I have to get Catnip written. I have to get Ursa Minor done. I have to get Oz done. And on and on and on. And so, Penny will fall into that, but it's in the back of my head. It'll be starting to get tinkered with as we get forward, and we will be well ahead when we launch that first Kickstarter, so that we don't fall behind, because again, by the time we get around to next year, I want everything to be landing in its on time mode, especially since next year we're going to be modifying the system so that things move a little faster, more efficiently, so on and so on.
Absolutely. And it seems like you got a great plan going with that. Now, we've had a lot of comments. I can't put nearly all of them up here. You know how it is in the doghouse with all that too. Steph did ask this question. I don't know if that's a legit question or not, because knowing Steph, I never know. So he said, when's the Cave Girl book from BDI coming out?
In my spare time, because again, I don't have anything to do, so I'll just start writing that tomorrow, I guess. I don't know. Listen, I have legitimately, I have an Oz arc to write, 5 issues. I have a Penny 7 Demons to write, 7 issues. I have Ursa Minor to bring back. I have Critter to keep going. I have another issue of Kaiju Epic that's being developed. I have the original content that we're doing for Patreon that will be exclusive to Patreon. That's happening right now. So that will be starting sometime in July. Patrons will start getting original brand new content in July. I also have 1, 2, 3, at least 3 books sitting back here in my head that are all jockeying for position to try and be the next thing. And I just don't have the time for it all. So everything in its time, and everything in its place. Oh crap! There's the other. Yeah, we're gonna do the. I don't know if that's gonna happen next year. Now, maybe it will, maybe it won't. We had an anthology that I was going to develop with my podcast partner Stephanie Menard, my editor Carrie Castor, and writer December Lace, called Mary Shelley Presents, which was basically going to be a horror sci-fi anthology using Mary Shelley as sort of a crypt keeper type of character to introduce these women's horror and science fiction stories. So we have to get that happening as well. So, oh yeah, and there's a crossover with another company that's in development, and there's nothing else I can tell you there. 0, don't ask, but it's there. So again, I have nothing happening at all. So Steph, I will for sure jump right on the Cave Girl thing.
Yeah, because no, it sounds like you're just bored out of your mind with all this going on. I don't know how you keep to yourself over there.
Terrible. It's terrible.
Now I know why you live on a lake that you have all by yourself and everything, because you just have to have all that room to have all your projects just thrown everywhere to keep up with them.
Well, it's all just everywhere here. It's just everywhere here.
Tom, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you on here again. We have talked about all of your future projects that you can talk about and everything. We've talked about the Kickstarter. Again, if you haven't gotten on there, get on there. If you missed anything that you want to get, add it on. And share. There is no ands, ifs, or buts about it. You know how sharing goes around here. Share this thing out. Share it out to everybody. Share it out to people you don't even know, and then have them share it out to people they don't know. And eventually we're going to find people that want to go ahead and jump on this as well, because who wouldn't?
Yep.
But I have enjoyed having you on here for the second time on here. I have definitely enjoyed finding out a little bit more about the project and how you got to come about with Princesses versus Zombies and all in the Kickstarter. So if you will, give us a last audible shout out on where we can find you and everything, and then we'll have those links in here as well.
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook here. You can friend me up. We have a Big Dog Inc. fan page as well. There is actually a Big Dog Inc. buy and sell group too, where the fans are shuffle their books back and forth. So that's all the Facebook stuff. On Twitter and Instagram, we are BDI Comics. So you can find us on both places there. And then Kickstarter, you can look me up, or you can just look up any of our titles, Princesses versus Zombies, Penny for Your Soul. You'll find all of the stuff that we've done or that's live. And then you can just sort through everything that you've seen. If you're looking for old books, everything that we have available is on the Big Dog Inc. website, bigdoginc.com. But if you're looking for the hard to find stuff, generally we hold on to that for the Doghouse because we might only have 1 or 2 of them, and we pop them out on the Doghouse live rather than just loading one comic to the internet. So anything from like Penny 6 and backwards, anything we have will be on the website. And then as we go forward, Scheherazade and Penny 7, those will hit the website once the backers all have their stuff. And then it'll start to filter into the Doghouse as well. But if you're looking for old stuff, go to BigDogInc.com, see what's there. Otherwise, visit us on the Doghouse Wednesdays, 10 p.m. on the Comic Book Shopping Network.
Absolutely. And again, thank you for being here. I look forward to having you on as a guest again here, and maybe whenever you have your other events coming up, possibly I can get you on here to kind of help out, give more information on there if you want to.
Sure.
And especially with ClickCon, I would love to have you on as a guest to go ahead and promote that and try to get some more awareness on there as well.
Yeah, we could get the 3 of us on here and get once everything's laid out and we know, pop, this is where it's going.
Absolutely.
Then we can for sure do that.
Absolutely. That sounds great. Again, thank you very much for being here, and I look forward to having you on again, and hope you have a great night. Be safe. Wash your damn hands.
Thank you, man.
All right. All right. So we had Tom Hutchison back here for a return interview, which was great. I hope that everybody had a great time in here and enjoyed themselves. A lot of information, a lot of fun that we had, a lot of invites. I mean, we're inviting you to, go to the Kickstarter and go ahead and jump on there. We're inviting you to the Doghouse. We're inviting you to Comic Book Shopping Network. We're inviting you into BDI's family on here. I feel like I am part of the family as well. I may be the redheaded stepchild in there at times just because, I talk a little bit too much and get a few too many things riled up on the side every once in a while. I blame Steph Wilson. But, it just happens. But I always have a closing statement. Tonight's not going to be any different. My closing statement tonight is actually, I never write it down, but I come up with things on the fly as I'm going through with my guest. And tonight is fairly simple. It's one word: bark. Now, a lot of people are going to be kind of sitting over there going, what does bark have to do with anything? Well, I'm going to tie it into Big Dog Inc., to Tom Hutchison and all. So you don't always have to have the $1 million project to go ahead and put yourself ahead. You always have to get yourself noticed, though. So bark. Let people know what you've got. Stand up. Be accountable for what you've got, as far as like, I know I've got something great. I want to go ahead and present it, and I'm going to push it forward. The more you step back and you kind of wonder, do I have enough confidence in my own product to go ahead and push this out there or not? You miss the chance to bark. So as far as I'm concerned, maybe a few more people would bark around here. Indies would get a lot more attention as well. That's just the way I'm going to go ahead and leave that one on there. And I may do some barking of my own on a project that I've backburnered for quite some time. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and leave this at that and say, this is Demon Phil, Comics and More, New Jersey. Keep it indie, y'all.